It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the AMP Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to Monday Madness.
It has been a month.
Goodness gracious, has it ever been? I'm going to tell you, you are on your A game of driving me nuts today.
I was going to say my A game of it's a lot of things happening. It's a great way to kick off 2025, though.
Unbelievable.
But it's been fantastic. So we're a little late because in between morning show and midday show, we are putting some new things, new finishing touches together in the studio. So come on by, check out what we've got going on, see your own podcast come to life right here. You know, everything takes a little bit more grit and elbow grease, as they say, than you ever imagined. We got some new artwork that came in this morning. Of course, Sally Barnard is here with us because it's Monday, which means Call Me Zena is today at 2:30, and see what else they bring in. Sally, I was thinking you got that message today, but now I know why, because the picture next to you came from Lori Arbell, and it's about spiritual guidance and Mother Earth. And connecting
feather.
With your ancestors and white feather. So now I understand why Pachamama was your message
and
today.
I said to you, does this mean anything? I had no idea, so I looked it up on Google, and there was...
And there she sits.
Yeah, there we go. It represents that. Well, she represents Mother Earth, looking over Mother Earth. Had no idea. And it's good validation for me, because I don't know sometimes what in the world I'm talking about.
When things come to you, do you just hear them or do you see them?
I hear them. Sometimes I see it, and I said, this is ridiculous, but it kept coming back, Mama Pacha Mama. And I'm going, I'm imagining this. And they say, no, I needed to tell you. And I'm thinking, you're going to think I'm crazy like I'm thinking I'm crazy. And I told you, and I looked up the meaning, and it made perfect sense.
So apparently we're not paying enough attention to Pachamama in the lobby.
I have no idea of what either one of you...
Well, it worked out because we realized what the message was. I hear it in my head, but it could be anything. It could be for anybody.
I think the problem is you hear it in your head. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I then voice what I hear, and then it makes sense to Dawn. I'm not sure about you, Freddie.
Exactly. And then
it makes sense to you.
Yes.
Well, you don't make sense to nobody.
It makes perfect sense because, you know what they always say, you have to meet people where they are? And I think even in spirit, when spirit comes to you, they're going to say it to you so you understand the message. Otherwise,
absolutely,
it wouldn't make sense. So, right? So they say things to you, and then you tell me, and I looked at you, and then you told me the meaning, and I said, makes perfect sense.
Which I wouldn't have known if I had never gone into Google. But had I been at home and received that message, I wouldn't. I just would have passed it off. But they waited to give it to me till I got here. So Freddie, now that's a lesson 101 in psychic ability.
Freddie seems to be intrigued by
he is
the man in the back of the theater.
That would be Caveman.
And what are you intrigued by?
That he actually put that table together.
Yes, he did. It looks nice, too.
I think that table's too big.
I don't think so. It's only 32 inches, if that.
You guys are in full control. I am saying so far away.
You don't like anything that we've done so far.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
You don't like change. Sally, he doesn't like change.
And he's got to get used to change. I'm sorry, that's not me telling you. That's them telling you. You're going to have.
It has nothing to do with change. It has to do with it working correctly. You know, they have to paint that room. So that room has to be emptied.
Right.
So that means that all these tables you're building have to be put somewhere.
On Friday. It's only Monday.
Well,
it doesn't take too long to paint,
there are three. Oh, I'm sorry. You're coming to help?
Oh, absolutely. If you want me, I'll be here. I'm always here.
I'll give you the brush and I'll watch you work all day long.
So, G-Man, the suggestion was for Freddie to get the green frog tape. You know what his reply was? He doesn't need tape.
You don't need tape. What are you
He's
taping?
Like, look.
Stuff with me.
Oh, wow.
What is it that you're taping?
The ceiling.
So you don't get
No,
paint
you
on
don't
it.
have to paint. You don't. No. Just get me a new brush, get me the paint, and get me a roll. It's done. It's done with eye. It's really simple.
That means you have to get on a ladder.
No, just, you know what? Please, you're driving me. I'm gonna start drinking very soon.
I can make you
We're only
drink.
painting 2 walls, correct?
Yes.
All right. This is empty the room. Let's start to empty the room and figure out. Thank you, G-Man. Now that we know your history with paint.
And that's kind of how it goes.
Well, the other thing you have to remember is you have equipment in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So I told G-Man to take it apart. You know what he told me? Give me a wrench.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. They got this.
Oh, I'm very worried
The
about it.
beauty of youth, young men and women together. Jay is like pitch hitter. She comes in, here's the screwdriver. She and Caveman put it all together like nothing. It's because you and I are old. We're too old to be doing these kind of projects ourselves physically. That's what it is.
Now she puts age and projects.
You manage it. That's
Together.
all.
We
You
can,
don't have to
right?
do
I
the
can
work.
oversee them. I can't physically do it.
No.
I painted both of these rooms
Cool.
once
We have both of
before,
them?
but I can't do it now.
All right, you're going to bring them both over. Listen, all I'm telling you is,
My mess is your mess.
no. Your mess is your mess. All I'm telling you is, in order to get that room organized, there's a lot of disorganization
Yes.
you're going to have to go through
Correct.
to get it organized.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying.
That's the beauty of it, because if you didn't do that, it wouldn't change.
So let's ask Sally, what do you think about changing some things around?
I think it's a good idea because
She's
you're
changing
moving,
80% of the studio.
but that's good because you're moving energy, and sometimes energy gets stuck, and that's what I'm hearing. So sometimes you need to do that. You really do need to do that to move on to the next project, which is coming your way. So
Do you want to hear some of the changes?
yeah, of course.
All the Studio B is
You know-
being turned upside down.
As long as I'm going to be able to sit there doing my show,
told
because
you.
I've got.
Time out.
I'm just joking.
You're going to be able to sit there. They're moving the piano to the corner.
Okay, yeah, that'll be nice.
We're putting another stage here so we could do this, and the entertainers are going to be up here.
Perfect. Yes, I like that. So the stage, you could do it like long ways, so it's like a continuation of that?
It's going to have a little bridge to here.
Yeah, perfect. That's what I see.
That's what you see.
Well, I kind of see it.
That means she's in your head, and that's even scarier for me right now.
Studio A, we're taking that whole wall down of art, and we're putting in a giant, massive television in there to do teaching and post-production on from other areas.
Okay. So, okay.
They're hanging the TV also in Studio B to the left, which makes no sense to me, but okay.
On the left-hand side? To the,
It's either there or they're going to put it in front to block everything because they want a humongous screen so people can watch themselves.
was that your idea? It was Dawn's. Then
I
that-
got 3 TVs in there, and that's
That's-
not enough. I got to put one so they can watch themselves.
So one instead of the one big one.
No, I'm not taking down the other 3. With all the work that it took to put that thing
No,
up there,
I
I'm not
should
taking
take them
it
down.
I'm not taking them down.
Wow. Can we go talk to our guests? Because you're just, that's what he's doing. Anyway, we've got 2 guests joining us from the west coast of Florida. We've got Manuel and Rosa. Happy birthday to Rosa. Sally is still going to hang with us here. This is our West Coast M&M Marketing, and I guess they are joining us virtually.
Yes, they are. Hello. Hello.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, are you on the
Hello,
5G?
hello, hello.
I found a different phone.
That's even better. Can you turn it sideways to do like he did?
I don't know. No.
No, you cannot. You have it locked. You have to unlock it.
Yeah, you need to unlock
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Now, I asked them. Okay, there you go.
Esa.
Now I feel like I'm on a
Esa.
boat. Okay, there you go. So the reason, first of all, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm celebrating my birthday really good.
Is today your
Wow.
birthday?
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday to you. Wow. And you're sharing it with us.
Cheers.
You see
Well,
how,
well,
how
I-
amazing day to show the event and also to enjoy with you guys.
Well,
It's amazing day.
I told her to come out because this McGilla decided to leave to go up to do some business. And he left her alone for her birthday. So I
Yes,
figured this is
yes.
the next best thing.
There you go. Bring them together through technology. Today is National Technology Day, by the
Well,
way.
there you have it.
So it's kind of fits in
Well,
perfectly.
thank God the technology. Thank God the technology. It's so amazing.
Amazing. So what's happening over there with marketing? Where are you and what are you up to over there, Marcel?
Well, I'm in Lisbon. I do something else. I'm working, okay, in another project, okay, in another project. But my wife, okay, she's in the
Everything
dispenser,
is still.
distiller, okay. If she want to talk a little bit more about what's going on with the event, how's the event, how looks the amazing location, the event for the 25.
So are you at the distillery now?
Yes, I am. I'm right here.
Oh.
Me
And are
and
you
Rosalie, we were doing some videos here,
do
getting
you have your
things.
phone?
I
Is
have
that
my
your
phone.
phone? Okay.
Yeah,
Is
Well,
okay. No, not that phone. The one that you're on.
yeah. That's Rosalie's phone.
Okay. Can you show us the distillery?
Well, I'm not gonna show too much because I have to leave something, like for people to be
Oh my
surprised.
God. Oh my God. Just show me that corner. No, the corner. The corner we're going to be taping.
Look at this.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at this. Woo.
It's
Isn't it
beautiful. Wow.
nice?
Nice.
Beautiful.
What do they distill? Beer or wine or both?
They have here whiskey, vodka, and moonshine. Let me show you. Let me show you my favorite one.
Moonshine. It's called moonshine. It's just a
G-Man's
drink.
like, oh, wow.
Moonshine. Woo.
That's the concoction table.
This is my happy place right here.
Have you tried it?
Yes, I have, and it's really good. It's a very good quality.
Now go back
Look at
to
the size of those vodka bottles.
yeah, take it easy. Go back to the corner. Go back to the corner where you were. I want to see the corner where you started out at.
You want to see the bar?
No, the corner where you started.
Oh, okay. Where I was sitting.
Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. You see, now there, in that corner is where I would like to do the production. See the fireplace and everything else there? See that?
Right for
See how nice that looks with
That
that
looks
wall?
beautiful.
That's
You want to
what
do it
And
right
here
down?
I
Oh,
would
look at
like
the
to do it
table.
right there.
poker. This is where they'll be playing poker.
You see, I would like to do it there where they can do production all the time, but we could do networking parties there, correct?
yeah, correctly. Every month I have networking over there,
That is
networking event.
beautiful.
I love it.
This is the bar.
I love it. It looks very nice. And the event is January 25th
January 25th
25.
at 7 o'clock.
at 6 o'clock. What day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday night.
Saturday. I love it. I
It's,
think it
it's,
looks,
a, it's, a, it's, a, it's a nice day.
I like
Everyone he can come
even
and
this
enjoy it.
segment, I like that whole piece.
And you're in Immokalee?
Yes.
Immokalee.
And do they sell it to the public or is it at local? How far is the distribution?
They actually right now they sell it here, and she was letting us know that she has a couple of places that they're selling it to. They're selling it to ABC, and they're selling it to the casino that they have here in Immokalee. So they're having a couple of distribution also, but they sell it to whoever comes here and they just want to buy it.
How long have they been there?
Actually, I don't know. They have been here for a long time. How long did she say they have been here? I don't remember.
I think she said 6 years. I read somewhere.
And are they open during the week or you're just there doing some work?
No, they're open during the week. She says that normally. Hello. How long have you guys been open?
De 10 and 4.
¿Cuánto?
De 10 a 4 de la tarde.
No, pero ¿cuánto tiempo ustedes han estado abiertos? ¿Cuántos
Llevamos
años?
5 años
5 years they have been open.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
¿Y 3 años qué?
y medio al público.
Oh, and 3.5 years to the public.
And where do they do all the distilling? Right there?
They do it right
Right
here.
there.
They do it right here. I'm gonna show you. Let me,
This is the best part. He wanna do a tour. He wanna show you how
look
he
right here.
make.
Look
He's so
right here.
funny. He's
Look,
sitting there. She's doing all the work.
I know. That's the distillery.
That's amazing.
See, what I've asked him to do is to make it so that people can go there and enjoy a cocktail and a tour and everything else. And then you could do production that people can go in there and do the commercials and everything, because
Yeah.
it has a certain look to it, has a certain feel to it. And look, she's already modeling the concoctions.
That's incredible. What is moonshine made out of?
Moon. Just shines at night.
Well, that's a more of a deep question.
okay, this
Because
this is this is this is why it's important. Okay, be over there because the main guy he wanna give you a tour and also he wanna
yeah,
explain how he's make. He explain everything. Okay, where is the get the product, how he make, how long he take for make that beautiful product, how he make it, everything. Okay, this is why it's important. Be over there, June,
yeah,
June 25,
January 25th, not
January
June.
25.
Don't
Okay,
say
I'm
June,
sorry,
because
I'm
I'll
sorry.
miss the date. So I want to take
Yes,
a
I'm
crew
sorry.
caveman. You want to come with me on Saturday night? Want to come with me to
where
the
are you from?
distillery? It's a Saturday night,
Like,
6 o'clock.
well, it's gonna start at 7, January
January
25th.
25th.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we go over before that.
25.
I'm thinking maybe you and I go over with Jay. You want to go on a car ride with me? Jay and G-Man, baby. Yeah. We're going to fly. And we
Well, you
do a
guys let me know.
midday show from
I'll be
there.
I'll be here with you guys if you want to come before then. I'm here.
We got to get the owner there also. Because on that event, the fermentation of distillation, yeast breaking down the sugars of the grains to produce alcohol. Once the fermentation process is complete, this is G-Man, the moonshine mash grains is sent to the still. Interesting.
It's just that the level of alcohol content is higher.
But and
Yes.
then the thing is, when it's like how she said, he has to be here because I love how he expressed the history that he has here, and he better explains how he does it, and that's what is going to be exciting too about coming on the event on the 25th. You get to know more about the Everglade distiller, and not only
You
that, we
know,
get to enjoy other companies that are going to be here, and we get to know a lot of networking that is going to happen that day.
and
True.
something really important. Okay, he said remember everyone he need to remember. Okay, it's not only a networking, something like he's coming to the earth or something like that. Remember that family is a veteran family. All these distiller, okay, is about help the veteran, okay, who fight.
Oh, we lost him.
There he goes. Yeah. He's probably talking about the veterans and all the contribution to veteran
All right.
aid that they give.
Yes,
And there's
yes. I'm
there's
so I'm so sorry. Somebody called me, unfortunately in the wrong time. But you know, is everything about help and support the veterans. You
Excellent.
know,
Interesting.
and
Okay.
there's a special detail on the bottle that is regarding veterans. There's a special signature on the bottle that they put their veteran touch into it. That is, I found very unique. And then you get to see that when you're here, because it's something you have to see more in person in front of you, the bottle, so you get to appreciate that little detail that he put in there for the veterans.
All right, so we'll put it all together. Thank you so much for joining us. It's the Everglades
Oh, it's a
Distillery in
pleasure.
Immokalee. Have a very happy birthday. Enjoy.
happy birthday, girl.
Happy birthday. All right, guys, we're going to stay in touch. We're going to take a commercial break.
Okay. Definitely.
Have a good one. We'll see you guys on the other side of this
thank
commercial
you.
break. Sally's going to be with us, and it's time to talk white feather and spirituality. A lot of things happening.
Okay.
All right, more to come. We'll be right back.
Amp Media Productions is proud to announce a collaboration with ABC WPBF, producing high-quality commercials for clients in Palm Beach County. This partnership will leverage Amp Media's creative expertise and video production capabilities with ABC's extensive reach and community connections to deliver top-notch advertising solutions. Contact Amp Media Productions today to amplify your impact in business on ABC WPBF.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, your family, your business, your peace of mind, you need reliable fire protection. Introducing All Fire Extinguisher Depot, Fire Extinguisher Service. Our certified technicians ensure your extinguishers are always ready to respond to emergencies. Before and after, we leave your fire safety in top-notch condition. Join the many satisfied clients who trust All Fire Extinguisher Depot for fire extinguisher service. Because when it comes to fire safety, there's no compromise. Contact All Fire Extinguisher Depot at 786-704-2750 to get your extinguisher service today. Your safety is our priority. That's at 786-704-2750. All Fire Extinguisher Depot, protecting what matters.
Breaking news, aliens have finally made contact with.
Welcome to the Amp Media Studios here in beautiful downtown Boca Raton.
In conjunction with True Oldies Radio South Florida, Amp Media Productions is here to help amplify your impact in business and to bring greater awareness to our community. Give us a call, 866-224-5422. We'll see you soon at the cafe.
And like I always say, come on down and visit us and don't be late.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Are you turning 65 this year or retiring and leaving employer coverage? It's your time to navigate the Medicare enrollment process. You have guaranteed issue in this time period. There is no medical underwriting. Everyone has unique needs within the standard steps of the enrollment process. The Marvelisms Medicare can walk you through the best options for your needs. For more information, call Claire Goyette at 561-703-7463 or absolutebestins.com/Claire-Goyette.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You can ask before we actually do it.
And we're back.
I know, there's so many other things on the list of things to do is what we have to do. But how do you like the change of energy already in the studio? Feels good,
I don't
right?
like it.
It feels good, right?
No.
No, it's in the process of changing. It hasn't reached its final destination. It's just changing. Right
Sally, I
now.
don't know if it ever reaches its final destination.
No, it doesn't. But
right?
here in the studio, it's kind of just moving around. I mean,
It's
it'll
kind of
change
what?
again.
There ain't no change. You guys are
Because
creating
it hasn't
this.
finished.
Hasn't even started. Where's the change? Wait.
I think you just like to buck the system. Were you always rebellious?
I'm not being rebellious. You asked me, do
A
you like
disruptor?
the change?
Do you think he's always been rebellious?
I think he has, but he's done it in a quieter way than I was too. I was very rebellious, actually. A nonconformist, I used to call myself.
Non-conformist.
I didn't know.
Is that
At
our
6
guest?
years old, I'm saying that.
Is that Trudy?
Yes.
Hey, Trudy. How are you doing?
Good.
We're going to have Trudy sit over there next to Sally.
Okay.
And if someone
Hi.
can come up and help hook her up to a mic, then we're good to go. She is Nonprofits First, Trudy Crowetz. So we're going to talk to her a little bit. Our crew met her when we were in Delray. But I'm going to have them, Jay, maybe you can come up and hook Trudy's mic up. She's coming. And while we do that, we're going to chit-chat with Sally a little bit. And
About
see,
the energy, right?
Yes.
No, not the energy. Not the
So,
energy.
Freddie, what would you like to
Hey,
talk
about Freddie being a disruptor and a nonconformist.
Yeah, that's what I would always call myself. I had no idea what I was saying at 6, 7 years old. I go to boarding school, and I really
Well,
didn't
I
conform.
actually feel like I'm 6 or 7 in here today.
Well, sometimes you act like you're 6 or 7 in a good way.
I don't feel any change whatsoever.
Because you're not feeling it yet. As the day goes on,
Because I'm
you're
not
going to feel
feeling
it.
it. What is it I'm supposed to be feeling?
When you feel it, you'll know.
Do you ever walk into a room and just feel like something's off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you walk into a room and feel like something's right?
Off and right at the same time?
Absolutely. It's the vibrational energy that you're picking up.
Thank you, Jay.
It's beginning to happen here. It was a little bit low, the energy, because I felt that too, but it's all coming together now, the change in the energy.
It was a little bit low.
Well, not low in a bad way. It was just...
Well, low, I guess, is there. I guess it's a good way
not
for
as
low.
much energy as
I'm
there
feeling
was.
way low, but I'm feeling good. What a remarkable...
Well, because there's usually more energy because there's more people here. Today wasn't that many people, so I got my message through to Dawn.
That's
She understood
amazing.
what I was saying.
And the funny thing is about that message, I have to remember who used to use that name with me all the time. I don't remember, you don't remember this, but there was someone who always talked about Pachamama.
Well, actually, Aldo used to say it to me all the time.
But
To
I
be
didn't know
Mama
Aldo.
Pacha, he used to say.
What's it called?
Mama Pacha, which is Gaia, which is Earth now that I'm thinking about it.
Mama
right?
Pacha?
Or
Papa,
Pachamama.
or Pacha. I got Pachamama, but apparently it's the same thing.
Mama Pacha, Mama is the
It's
same
Mother
thing?
Earth.
Mother Earth.
And today, is that the word of the day?
Well,
Pachamama.
it was. I was meant to share it, whether it was for Dawn or I or
And what
anybody.
do you think
I
that
don't know.
means?
It means that we're having to look after the earth, which we know anyway. But there was more to it. I got the validation of that's what it was because of the statue outside there.
So the statue talked to you and told you Pachamama?
No, when I looked it up, it mentioned her.
You guys also mentioned that the statue moved.
Well, that's the
Pachamama is a
message I
central
got.
figure in South American cultures and is associated with the spirit and the land of the protective.
But then it mentions Mother Mary.
She's
right?
also known, right, as Mama Pacha and you say and Virgin Mary as well.
Which I had
Trudy,
no
you say
idea.
yes?
And I get this, and then we.
First I've heard of it, to be honest with you.
Huh.
Yeah, well, it is with me, really. I mean, I didn't know. It
She's
just
considered the
looked it up.
provider of life, food, water, animals, and fertility. You can stay away from fertility on me. I'm done with that. Thank you.
Oh, I have to tell
Sally's
you.
done with that too. You'd have to tell me
Sally's-
something.
I was congratulated
pregnant?
no, I went to get a present for Rose's daughter who
She's
has
pregnant.
four boys, and she had a girl. So I go in with Steve, and he proceeds to tell the girl this is the first girl. So she says to me, "Congratulations."
Oh my gosh.
I said, "No, it's a present for someone."
Fertility and the harvest. Anyone getting pregnant in here?
Did you hear what she said?
No.
It's a girl.
Yeah,
No,
but
did you
when
hear
I
what
went
she
to
just said?
pay,
They
Steve
congratulated
tells
her.
the sales lady the whole story, and she
So
brought
the
it to
message
me.
had to have come. It's from
Oh,
the
there we go.
the Andes Mountains, which is in Peru, correct? And
Yes,
so
I
that
think
is
so.
totally through Aldo, who's sending you this message.
Absolutely, 100%, because I never hear from him in my sleep, but I did 2 nights ago.
Fertility, earthquakes, life on Earth, protection. An adult female carrying the cocoa leaves and potatoes.
Where's
Kind
that?
of like baking vodka in the distillery. There's so many ways you could
She can cause
envision it.
earthquakes. I didn't know that. We don't want that.
I don't know. I just feel like Sally's going to be on a whole nother level today. She and I.
She's always at another level.
I know.
She's like another.
Oh, that's why no one hears or sees me. I guess when they ignore me.
That's Sally right there.
No, that's
Goodbye.
G-Man.
No, that's Sally.
That's G-Man clearing the studio. Well, we've got a new friend of the studio, Sally, wants you to meet. We've got Trudy Crowetz, and she is of Nonprofits First. And our crew had the pleasure of meeting Trudy when we were at the Delray Beach Nonprofit Council, the chamber meeting when I was judging the videos. Actually, I think their meeting is probably tomorrow. It's the first
It is
Tuesday of
tomorrow,
the
yes. It is tomorrow.
And we've got like 5 shows doing, so I don't think I'm going to make it there tomorrow, but hopefully the following month. And she got to meet Heather and Haley. And they were so impressed with meeting you. They were so excited to give me your card. And I know the holidays came. We didn't get a quick chance to talk to you. But thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, and I was very excited to meet them. We actually have interns at Nonprofits First, and they are phenomenal. So anytime I get a chance to meet an intern, it's great because they're so smart and they have so much potential. And I just love meeting those up-and-comers in our community, and that's what they are.
Tell us about Nonprofits First.
So Nonprofits First is an organization that actually helps other nonprofit organizations. We do what they call capacity building. So we help others achieve their missions, and that we do that through several different ways. So we got started about 20 years ago through a process called accreditation. So I'm not sure which camera I'm looking in here.
You just keep looking here. You're
Okay,
good.
looking here, okay. Through accreditation. So about 20 years ago in our county was a time where there was some corruption. If you were around then, you might remember that. We were called the corrupt county. And it was more earmarked towards government. We had some corruption in government. And our nonprofit community got together and they said they did not want to go through this as the nonprofit community. They want to make sure that they were doing everything that they needed to do to not get into the situation where there was corruption. And so that's when they started this process. Back then it was called certification, and our name back then was the Center for Nonprofit Excellence. And they developed standards about 20 years ago which nonprofits would need to meet. They started with the Health and Human Services organizations. It's expanded since then. We have about 80 organizations that are accredited in Palm Beach County, and we have 300 standards that organizations must meet to get accredited. And so it is a rigorous process for them, but it actually helps them build quality, make sure that they're doing compliance issues and best practices. And it's something that's why our organization was built back 20 years ago.
And you have classes, you work, I think you told me right down by Junior League, you've got offerings that we can actually participate in. It's like Nonprofits 101 for people like us that are had an idea, started it, and then you think, how do I grow this? What do I do next?
Right, and that actually starts tomorrow morning. It's called 101 for the 501. And there's 4 key areas that we focus on, and those are finances, board governance, human resources, and fundraising development. So those are our 4 key areas, and that's our 4 key areas in accreditation also. So we start with the smaller, new nonprofits, hoping to bring them up to the next level, with the eventual goal for them to become accredited, because there's so much value in accreditation because funders and donors look at it very highly. And we're seeing a lot of our organizations that are accredited are the ones getting those really big grants and that, those really big donors.
And so if we wanted to go tomorrow morning?
If you wanted to go tomorrow morning, if you want to jump online to our website, under our accreditation tab is 101 for the 501. There's a small form you have to complete. Otherwise, if you just want to show up, we'll get you set up tomorrow morning. It starts at 8:30 at Junior League of Boca Raton.
And it's how long?
It is actually 4 half-day sessions, and that's every other week for 2 months, basically, for 4 weeks. So we're meeting tomorrow, and then 2 weeks from that, 2 weeks from that, and 4 weeks from that.
And you do a lot, and Junior League is right on the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow morning? I'm
I
kidding.
I thought Kendra's mom was involved with the Junior League as well.
Ingrid Fulmar. Junior League is tremendous in our community.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we're doing a lot with them this year. We're actually working with them. We're developing another program. It's called 201 for the 501. And that's starting in April. So what we've seen from our smaller agencies, they'll go through the 101, but then they want more. They want that advanced training, and that's what 201 is going to bring to them. So Junior League is actually sponsoring not only 101 for the 501, but also 201 for the 501. And then I think it's either February or March, we're going to have a networking breakfast at the building. They're kind of reopening it, making sure everybody knows that Junior League is here and that they have a lot to offer. So we're partnering with them for that networking event as well. I think it's in February.
Because there's so many things to know and to do, and people in the community are so great. Someone will come in and say, oh, you need to fill out this form, and someone says, no, you don't need to fill out this form, but you need to contact this agency, but you don't need to contact this agency. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, because this isn't, it's part of what we do, but it's not all of what we do. So all these misinformation, and everyone means well, it's overwhelming for my brain to handle all of it, which then becomes overwhelming for your brain. So this is a huge advantage and a huge help.
Right, and we often get calls from people saying, we want to start a nonprofit organization, what do we do? So the first thing we do is we hear what they're trying to accomplish, and since we're well connected in the nonprofit community, we try to actually link them with somebody who might be providing a similar service. For instance, somebody that I knew started an auditory literacy program. Well, I used to be the CFO for Literacy Coalition of Palm Beach County, so I knew that I could connect those two organizations, and I did, and so actually those two people within the organizations. And what happened is they picked up another program, and so this other person didn't have to start their separate 501c3, because there's a lot of administration which people don't realize when they want to start a nonprofit organization. It's a lot different from somebody starting their own business as a sole proprietor. There's a lot more paperwork, there's a lot more compliance, so we make sure that they're ready to do it, and then we also actually refer to them one of our affiliates to help them get started. We have nonprofit attorneys who are affiliates of Nonprofits First who can guide them in that journey. And then once they become 501c3 organizations, they come to us for one-on-one for the 501, again, which is starting tomorrow. So we help them along the journey. We do deal with small grassroots organizations, medium-sized, and even the largest national organizations, that we try to provide that continuum for all those types of organizations.
And if Sally wants to start a non-for-profit for seniors.
You read my mind.
I know, you're screaming at me, so I'm just going to say it, because it's like, okay, thank you.
That's right.
But she may not have the time or the energy to say, I want to start a non-for-profit at this point in my life.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
She is really reading your mind, huh?
Is there a way that maybe she could take her idea and talk to you, and you might say like, oh, there's a great non-for-profit that would love to work with you and your ideas?
Absolutely, we love doing that. You know, one of our core values is the community circle.
Right.
So we try to connect people as much as we can, because we know, like for instance, the Area Agency on Aging might have a program that you would align with that they're already doing.
Okay.
And so, and they're heavily, I mean, they're funded already. So a lot of this requires upfront funding, which you might not have. So if you can align what you want to do with their programs or services, it's a really good fit.
Okay.
So yeah, we would love to talk to you more about it.
I've been thinking about this for quite a while,
I know.
actually, because I want to reach out to the elderly population, since I'm one of them.
Well, me too.
And so many things, you know, like AARP now is getting younger and younger, and people don't retire now and just retire. They may retire from career one and have career two, or like Freddie said, like 2,782 careers. And then, all right, and then at some point in your life, you're like, all right, I'm over the age of 65 or 70, but I don't want to retire. But there's got to be resources to share with other people that are just like me.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, our former CEO, Jessica Cesare, you might know her. She retired last year. She and I are the same age, just she retired a little bit early. So she thought she was just going to retire. And I kept having this conversation with her. I said, you're not going to retire, you're going to be semi-retired. And so she actually does a lot of consulting for Nonprofits First still. She specializes in board governance, and she's excellent for that area, for strategic planning. And so we've been able to engage her in the nonprofit community, which is what she loves, by being a consultant for Nonprofits First. So we have a program, it's called Affiliates, and we actually have the for-profits become members of Nonprofits First, and then we have nonprofit members, and we connect them as well. So we try to be the community connector, so that those affiliates that specialize in providing services to nonprofits can provide those to the nonprofits that are members of our organization.
Do you think there needs to be a point person at every nonprofit to work, or can it be Say I could do, say, one meeting, and then maybe Freddie gets to come do another meeting, because you're trying to balance so many things.
Oh yeah, and that you're talking about 101. That is an actual organization certificate that you get. So if you have different people that you want to send to those 4 different days, you can do that. And we just ask that one person attend each of the sessions.
Interesting. I would love to, somebody go tomorrow, because it would be, listen, there's no coincidence, right, Sally, that Trudy's here today and this event starts tomorrow, and it's pretty much almost walking distance to us.
What is the time of the event?
8:30.
8:30 to noon. And one of our facilitators tomorrow, actually our main facilitator tomorrow, is former mayor of West Palm Beach, Jerry Moyo, and she does a lot of training for us in the area of board governance as well. So she's going to facilitate. You're going to have a lovely game. It's called Governance Jeopardy. She does, and it's great, and it's so much fun, and it's a lot of learning, but it's a lot of interaction as well. So I think you'll really like it if you can attend.
Because there's so much to learn, because it was just an idea for a year, and then we did it only a year ago. And really it was just the bare basics of what we needed to do on paperwork, and the idea, we had our first fundraiser, and the intent is amazing, is to teach college students media production, to give an opportunity to work their passion. But then, you need the money and the finances and the equipment to send them out on the road, to teach them editing, to start the academy. All of these things that take time, and bylaws and everything need to be restructured as you grow, I guess.
Absolutely. Nonprofits First is a nonprofit organization as well. So we're in the same boat. We have interns that we've hired, but we have to provide the support for them. We have to find funding for them. And so it is something that we understand. So we love to help organizations along that journey as well.
What's your goal working with Nonprofits Plus?
My goal, well, this year in December, I let you know I hit the big 6-0 this past year.
Congratulations.
So, retirement's not that far off. I have a plan to semi-retire after I turn 65. But my background is in finance for nonprofits. I've been fortunate I'm a CPA by trade. I've been fortunate to be a CFO for many local large nonprofit organizations, such as I mentioned Literacy Coalition of Palm Beach County. I was the CFO for United Way of Palm Beach County, for now I can't think of the names, Boys and Girls Clubs of Palm Beach County, for the ARC of Palm Beach County. So these are local large nonprofit organizations. They're all over between $5 million and $20 million dollar budgets. And so I've been very fortunate to have that as part of my career. And so my personal focus is to help nonprofits in the area of finance. And we have other people such as Jessica Cecere. Her focus in her semi-retirement is to help those in the area of board governance and strategic planning. So I have those connectors that we can refer to the nonprofits just to strengthen our nonprofit community. What I'd like to do as part of my legacy is actually strengthen the finance and accounting sector or subsector within the nonprofit community, because it's something that we're not very strong in, and it's difficult to get talent in that area because for-profits pay a lot more and it's less difficult, to be honest with you. There's a lot of difficulty in nonprofit accounting, so you have to really be dedicated to a particular cause to go in that area. So I want to work to improve that area before I leave my job here.
It's an amazing niche, because you're right, it's hard to find someone. People have their day jobs and they don't know the nuances of for-profits versus non-for-profits, even the 990s. But you and I had also talked briefly about, you had all the nonprofits you work with have an opportunity for a podcast.
Yes.
What does that look like?
And that actually, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because we recently were advised that they're not going to continue that podcast. We actually have a relationship with, it was called 501c-TV, and it was in conjunction with Kana Studios in Wellington, and they do a lot with nonprofits. The person that was leading that, Janelle and Scott Harris, the people that were leading that, they had decided that they no longer have the time or energy to do that, and they're focusing on other initiatives that they have. So we're trying to work in different areas throughout the county. Hopefully we would be able to take the lead, but we would work with organizations such as you that would provide those podcasts to us that we would post on the 501c-TV, and that we could help market that and get out the word of our nonprofit community. So that's our goal. We're in the early stages of that to try to figure out what that means for our organization, because it's something new to us that we haven't provided yet. But we really would like to see that continue and not stop just because somebody's not doing it.
Is 501c TV your platform?
No, it is through, it's called Pirate Promotions, I think, is the one that owns it.
Okay.
And it's the podcast that they were doing was at Kana Studios in Wellington.
You know who that is. We interviewed the girls.
And I know the gentleman we just came in from Orlando, and they talked about, that's what Grace was talking about, Pirates Production.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's an interesting concept of how they're doing it. The 501c3, the not-for-profit needs to establish a profit-making sentiment around them. When I was in the Bronx, there was a not-for-profit that I helped put together, and they used to invest into buildings for Little League Baseball.
Okay.
So Little League Baseball, every one of these teams needed to raise money for school, for stadiums, for fields, for bats, equipment. So what they did was, it was a gentleman from the Condors, he bought a building, and the profits, 80% or 90% of the profits went into the Little League, and the rest of it was used to maintain the building. Really simple math. And it's still a formula that they use today, where they take profit-making centers around them, and those centers actually make money for them. So the not-for-profits, if they can generate the lure of having people like doing commercials and things like that for companies, they have the numbers. People always look at not-for-profits. The numbers, you saw a good example of that when you did your fundraiser, who I thought nobody was coming. The numbers are always there because everybody wants to help the not-for-profits. It's just on how they're going to help, which is an interesting concept. I have to go to Tampa to pick up equipment. People that are donating equipment instead of monies are donating means for the kids to be able to use and grow and learn and everything. Then it becomes where to put everything. It's an interesting meeting we had this morning with that, but it's an interesting take on what you do.
But I think we can certainly help in that podcast platform. Just like we spoke about this morning in the second studio, it becomes a podcast studio. Maybe that becomes the non-for-profit podcast studio.
We're actually, we are trying to open up and establish different centers all around Florida. Lake Worth is one, and then we have the distillery, which is another one. There are different businesses that want to turn not only into a podcast center, but then turns around and become a school, a learning institution at the same time. And that will give you the benefit of both podcasting and education under one umbrella. And everything can be controlled remotely from here, which is why we wanted to go up to Melbourne and some of the other studios that we're setting up. In that realm, to teach, to give people an opportunity to learn. There's a lot of different ways of doing production today. Lots, not like when I first started. And trying to plug into all of these things to help the not-for-profit is the idea.
How many non-for-profits did you do the interviewing?
No, I didn't do the interviewing. I actually got interviewed by them to talk about nonprofits first, kind of like what we're doing now. But yeah, they had, Janelle did the interviewing. And it was a 30-minute podcast that she would do with the nonprofits, and we would offer that to our members as one of our member benefits.
Now, what does membership look like for nonprofits first?
Membership, it's a staggered membership fee. It's based on the size of an organization, so it's anywhere from $200 to $800 a year. And there's a lot of member benefits that we provide as a result of that. One of the things that we haven't talked about is our other education and training program that we have through Nonprofits First. So along the same lines as 101 for the 501, we're offering this continuing education for those within nonprofit organizations. We also offer continuing education for fundraising professionals, for human resources professionals. We offer training for finance professionals. So we are offering that for those employees within a nonprofit who provide that infrastructure, because we know that a nonprofit is usually really good at providing programs and services, but a lot of times there's that infrastructure that needs to surround that. You have to pay your bills, you have to hire the right people, you have to have the right board. So we provide those wraparound services to make sure that the nonprofit has that in place so that they can actually thrive with the programs and services that they're providing.
I feel like God just dropped you here for a reason, thank goodness. Because all the things I think about are, oh my
here
gosh.
it comes. Okay. That was great, whoever's doing that.
Thank you guys for all of that.
Yeah, and so we talked about the 501c TV YouTube podcast, and we're hoping to continue that in some way, shape, or form. And there's our due structure.
Oh,
so
very nice.
what I didn't tell you is there's about 8,000 nonprofits in Palm Beach County. So we have a lot of nonprofits in our community.
Wow.
And so we're just barely scratching the surface of education and training for our nonprofits. So we want to get more of that market share because we know there's so much need within the county of people who need that education and training. So we're constantly trying to meet new organizations like yours to see where we can meet the need of the things that you need for your new nonprofit.
It's amazing. The Delray Beach Chamber, for the short amount of time that we've been a member, has been so incredible with the amount of information and resources that have been available. And we've only gone to 2 or 3 meetings. And at every meeting, if you meet 1 or 2 people, you think, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. And actually, we're partnering with them this year to provide those financial trainings during the months of April and May, so that nonprofit community could be more exposed to, our financial roadmap, we call it, so that they can do what they need to do in the area of finances. And that's my area. We're having some of our affiliates come in and provide that training as well.
Incredible. Wow. All right, why don't we take a commercial break and we come back? Sally, you can pick Trudy's brain. I know, she's ready to go. She's got so many questions. We've got Trudy Crowetz of Nonprofits First, Sally Barnard of Call Me Zena, and more to come on the other side of this commercial break. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Brooklyn Cafe TV for behind-the-scenes content, as well as all of the shows that we produce on Amp Media Productions. So like and subscribe both channels, and also our new website's coming out soon. So a lot of great stuff, and we'll be right back. Amp Media Futures Foundation is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to providing college students with immersive opportunities in media production, marketing, business skills, and communication.
Interns will learn professional workflow skills in editing, video and radio broadcasting, public relations, digital media, graphic curriculum, and access to equipment to make a positive impact.
Amp Media Productions is a full-service production house with a variety of shows ranging from the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a very busy Wednesday.
Sarah Spiritual.
Right here on the Oldies station, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
Call Me Zena.
By example, and that's what I try to do all the time, to teach by example.
Artist Law.
Using that term more. Yeah, lofties, yeah.
And Gypsy Soul.
They love music. It's like their favorite thing to go to.
I teach like preschool up to 12th grade.
Yeah, nice.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Amp Media Productions. Please like and subscribe to all of our shows.
I want to be a first class champagne, please.
Dying comfort.
Yeah, that's good. We offer opportunities to excel in the field of TV film production, social media management, video editing, set design, graphic design, sound engineering, journalism, and many more useful tools to help you land a career in the media business.
To volunteer or be a part of our team, or to make a donation of any size, please visit us at ampfutures.org. Help us to empower college students to create a positive impact with immersive hands-on experiences in media production. Help us amplify the future.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
Your True Oldies Listener's Guide. Listening in the Palm Beaches? That's 95.9 FM. On the Treasure Coast? You want 106.9 FM. In Boca? It's 95.3 FM. We've got Fort Lauderdale and Broward County covered with 96.9 FM. And you can always hear us anywhere at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Time in the day. And we're back.
And we're back. All right, Sally.
Okay, we had a little discussion, yeah.
Sally had a little
I'm
discussion.
sitting right where I'm meant to be, right?
I heard you say your stepmother's name is Trudy.
Was Trudy, yeah. She passed away just before her 100th birthday. Her name was Trudy.
What did your mama tell you? She's laughing. She's like, see, I told you.
Yeah. I'm thinking Trudy must have wondered what in the world we're talking about. I did explain I was also a psychic and a medium.
You know, it's funny, the oldest woman on the planet, 116, passed away on Saturday.
I'm getting there.
I don't think so.
I'll be sitting in that chair and you'll say, well, Sally reached. You know, she's watching the studio.
Ever since these pictures came in this morning, I'm telling you, it's a whole nother level.
What are you talking? What picture?
That she brought in.
Who?
The
This
photographer.
lady, well, white feathers.
Lori Arbel.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yes.
I recognized white feather.
I told her you would this morning, and I said, how amazing that you
Listening
brought
right
that in today, which is incredible.
Conversation with our ancestors is what she calls
That's
the,
interesting, yeah.
the three pieces.
I think that's called White Swan.
Love to meet her.
You've met her. She was the one that had the black piano with the gold embellishments with the Holocaust.
Oh, I know who, yes.
So she brought in some different types of pieces
Actually, I
today.
recognized I thought I was recognizing some of that art in the picture there with the horse behind there. She did an art, it's here somewhere. Right?
It was. She came and she
yeah,
picked it
I know
up for
exactly.
an art
I
show.
don't remember her. I remember her, but I probably wouldn't
You don't
recognize
remember her?
You were next to
I
her.
do remember her, but I'm very
you
bad
don't
with
remember
faces. I know exactly. I recognized her art in that picture.
But you don't remember her.
Well, if she was to walk in,
You
probably.
you wouldn't recognize her.
Truthfully, I'm very
Truthfully.
bad with.
First of all, she changed her hair and everything else. I didn't even recognize her when she first came in.
I won't recognize her. But once you start talking about someone, I realized who you're talking about immediately.
So what's
Not
the name
that
of these
bad.
pieces?
Conversation with your ancestors.
So I
Lovely.
thought, Sally, that would mean a lot to you.
Absolutely, 100%.
Does it mean a lot to you, Sally?
It certainly does. No coincidences talking about that.
She's got her show coming up today at 2:30. And this studio is very spiritual. It becomes a hub of all the things that are supposed to be here. You find the messages when they're supposed to. And here you come today with your event tomorrow, which is incredible to be able to share that with people. What's your website?
Our website is nonprofitsfirst.org. And we actually direct a lot of people there because it's very comprehensive of all of our programs and services that we offer.
It can be overwhelming for
Yes.
people like me that are when we're doing other things and then we know we want to grow this at the same time, it becomes a little overwhelming and consuming of how can you dot your I's and cross your T's and still run your for-profit business and still oversee your interns or whatever your non-for-profit is. So this feels like it's adding more, but I'm hoping it will organize my mind a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we like I mentioned before, we have interns at Nonprofits First, and they just added so much capacity internally for our organization. That's why we actually have a new program that's starting this year in 2025. It's called Launching Leaders. And it is actually, we're going to hire interns to work with our local nonprofits on special projects. So we have a program called Rising Leaders that we've had for almost 20 years now, and they do service learning projects. So we have about 25 participants in any class that we have each year, and we have about 4 or 5 nonprofits that submit projects to our Rising Leaders participants, and they perform these services for these special projects for these organizations. So what we've seen happening is we have so many projects that are submitted, but only a handful get chosen because we don't have enough participants. So a few years ago, we added our interns to Nonprofits First to help internally with our capacity, and then we realized that there was a need in our nonprofit community that wasn't being met. And so that's why we developed Launching Leaders. We piloted the program last year. And last year we worked with the Lighthouse for the Blind to help them in their branding and marketing, so along the same lines of what you're doing. So I'm mentioning that because if you have special projects for a nonprofit that you need done, we asked you to submit a brief little form about that, and we'll work with you to help you complete those projects. So it's a win-win-win situation because it helps the interns with their education and they get real-world experience. Of course, you know that as your nonprofit does the same. It helps the nonprofit complete the project. And the third win is that we're hoping that by introducing our students to the nonprofit community that they'll stay engaged with the nonprofit community and continue their career in that field as well. Because we're seeing that people are leaving the nonprofit sector and we're not able to replace the talent that we need. So hopefully that'll create the new talent that we need as well.
So that's exactly what we're hoping here with the internship program through the non-for-profit, that we're able to hopefully hire them and keep them in a capacity that they can pay their bills, bring the funding to do that, and let them grow really in the area that they so love to excel in, instead of losing them to always paying the bills and, you know, that 9 to 5, that clock in, clock out, because they're so talented, our youth, but they're not given the opportunity to show it because it's expensive to live.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're trying to do as well.
Amazing. What a great synergy.
Absolutely, yeah.
So glad I brought the girls, because I would have never met you that day because I was at the other table, so this is amazing.
Yeah.
And what about the senior space? Sally, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know anything. I haven't, which I told you, I wouldn't even know how to do this. But I know that I want to work with the seniors and give them my story to encourage people. Basically, it's just because you're getting older doesn't mean it's the end of your life. There's so much to do. And just talking to you, I feel maybe I can start to do something to help people do what I'm doing at my age.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things.
Yeah. Something we do that engages the senior community as well. We have an area, a volunteer program within Nonprofits First. It's called the Executive Volunteer Corps. And so, as I mentioned before, we kind of specialize in the area of finance, of board governance, of fundraising, development, and human resources. What we've seen is we have older individuals that are really experts in those fields, and they bring a lot of value to us. So they become our volunteers and help with that accreditation process so that we don't have to have all that labor of doing all that review. As I mentioned, we have 300 standards. So we have a vigorous volunteer program where we hire volunteers, we vet them, and we make sure that they're trained properly, and they actually help us review the nonprofit organizations. And so we find that a lot of volunteers, older volunteers, like to do certain things like they did in their career. Like, for instance, me as a CPA, I love to do finance review because that's my area. And so they have their different fields and they love to do that review. And so we've been able to match our older volunteers with those different areas.
Right.
It's amazing the resources that are in our community that we don't know of that are so untouched. I think a podcast, a show, a video cast, whatever we want to call it, for that, to share the community resources Maybe we can even pop it on radio based on your levels of membership, if we can financially figure out that. Because to put that out on, not only on the podcast platforms, the internet, but to put it on True Oldies Radio, where you're reaching the senior demographic or you're reaching a business demographic. I mean, there's 8,000, right? You said nonprofits in our county alone. The reach has to be tremendous, and they don't realize our reach and other media platforms' reaches, that the way we've done it is within financial means. And I think that would be incredible. Heck, I don't see why you couldn't be the host and you do the interviews. You're so truly.
Not really my skill set, but thank you.
Well, you know, I think that the opportunity to give not-for-profits an even balance. I know that the radio stations have certain allotted times that's required now by law that they put in advertisements for certain not-for-profits. But Bob Moranci had that not-for-profit when his daughter was killed.
Bit by bit, yeah.
And that thing is tremendous. It's grown leaps and bounds. I like the idea of going to the communities and opening up these centers so that people could come and they can elaborate, network, educate, and teach all at the same time. And they're doing it under the banner of not-for-profit. I think that it's long overdue. There's a lot of good quality, like the kids, you know, that these interns that we carry are tremendous, and they're not giving an opportunity to go out and show their skills. And if you have a functioning studio that does this, and it does it well, and it does it big, and it makes a lot of noise, you just can't keep that noise quiet. Absolutely. So when she tells you that you should, because you are, you are actually, people look up to you and say, I'm going to come to you because you're going to help me get educated so I can learn more. And what better way of doing it than watching you go all over the place, showing people on the bigger platforms, interviewing them, finding out what they need, understanding it, and there's 100,000 people out there that are saying the same questions. And you're answering the same thing and covering more ground, more people. The only thing is that there's only one of you, and then you become overwhelmed. Like my friend here has become overwhelmed with everything that comes.
Maybe it's a once a month we do instead of an every week, right? Depending on every 2 weeks, depending on what it is. I think finances, from what I've experienced doing what we're doing, is the hardest thing because the academics for what we do. I think businesses or nonprofits know their mission. They know what they want, but then you need the finances. And then there's, do you do a BOI? Don't you do a BOI? Do you need the Department of Agriculture? Don't you? Those little nuances that aren't little, you don't know what to do because you're so busy trying to continue your mission.
Right,
and that's your area
absolutely.
of expertise.
And that's why we're so needed in the communities because we provide those wraparound services they need for infrastructure.
I got to tell you, we have a little gremlin that comes in here
to aggravate me.
You know, it's really funny that she says this, but this little gremlin, who happens to be a very good friend of the show, a very good friend of mine and hers, he comes in here, he says, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? He's adding the layers of the things that we're supposed to do. Yeah. Now, his delivery isn't smooth.
Not like yours. We could say, okay, this is your checklist of things that you need to do every January 1st, for example.
Right.
But he does follow up. He did follow up with the things that he gives you, and then he lets you pick and choose. But there are certain things that if you don't do it, and his delivery again is not the smoothest, so it drives her crazy. But I appreciate when I see him because the only reason he comes here is to give us another update on this and filings and things of that nature. There was a couple of filings that we didn't know about. And I got into an argument with him because, you know, me, I think I know everything and I don't know anything. But I just didn't like his delivery. But he's absolutely right. So now I got to sit there and just listen and say, okay. I mean, I'd rather learn another way.
But I'm so glad we're going to actually learn the right way now, which is amazing.
Yes, but it does help. It helps in achieving what you want to achieve without having to go like this and spinning your wheels and doing it incorrectly, which really burns you out.
Right, sure. We find that organizations are so focused on their mission and providing those services, but you know, there's a whole other world that they need to be aware of, and so that's what we're here for.
Hey, Sally, maybe we can even get you as a volunteer. You hang here with us. We're going to put you to work.
I was just saying, there's not enough hours in the day because I'm starting.
I got to tell you, it's 1:48. I can't believe where the freaking day has gone today.
Time's speeding up. You see
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I heard that the other day. We don't know that.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Slow it. Maybe we have to walk slower.
Yes, everything's
Is that what
slow.
it is?
I don't know what it is.
Trudy, how do people get involved with Nonprofits First or Tomorrow? What's your website again?
It's nonprofitsfirst.org. And the best thing, there's an info form they can fill out if they want other, they just have a general question. But there's all those programs that we have. We have other leadership programs that we really haven't mentioned a lot about. As I mentioned before, Rising Leaders, which is for those up-and-comers within an organization. And it's kind of like a corporate management program for nonprofits. It teaches those individual skills that we all need to know, like project management, like emotional intelligence. It does team building, change leadership, those things that you need to know to grow within an organization. And then another program that we have is called Advancing Leaders, and it's for those moving up into senior management in nonprofits. And that's more organizational type of training. They need to know how to do fundraising development, how to have a good HR department, how to do budgets and finances, things like that. So we provide that training as well. So we try to provide, as I mentioned, that continuum from the smallest agencies to the largest agencies so that we're providing full services to our nonprofit community.
Amazing.
So does Trudy also have a library where you can access all of this information? Because
Probably on the website.
Is it on the website?
It is. We have a resource library on our website. Actually, it's available to our members and to our accredited agencies. So you have to be a member to access it. So that's why we encourage membership. That's one of our member benefits that you mentioned or that we've shown before.
Well worth it. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a training coming up on that and how it can be used. And we use it too for Nonprofits First. As I mentioned, we're also a nonprofit. So whenever there's a new type of policy that we need, it is vetted through our accreditation team before it comes to our nonprofit community. So we have a standards committee that has nonprofit professionals such as lawyers and attorneys, accountants, and they are actually vetting the resources that we provide, those forms and those documents before they get to the nonprofit community. So basically it's a template and you just change it for your nonprofit, you add your nonprofit name and such. And then you can edit it depending on what you want to have for your nonprofit.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you're like this treasure chest at the end of my rainbow. Like, oh my gosh, God is good, as G-Men would say, right?
Yes.
Because you know what I go through, you know my paperwork, my filing, so it's been a pleasure to meet you and to have you join us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much. I love talking about the work that we do for the community.
More to come on this, 501c-TV, or if that name's taken, we'll come up with another structure name for you.
Right, and we'd love to be able to be the facilitator for that. All around the community. We have such a large county, and we know we have great resources around the county, such as, in South County, you're in South County area here in Boca. So, but we also know that we need some in the west area and some in the north area. So we're hoping to actually, through our affiliate program, be able to have different areas where we're having these podcasts taking place, and we can consolidate that in some kind of structure. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It's all new to us, of course, because this is a recent thing that we just learned about, but we're hoping to be able to provide that to our nonprofit community as well, because we know the information needs to get out.
Well, it's a good thing you got studios all over the county.
Well, that was originally the
God
basic.
is good. Thank you, G-Man. Yes.
Originally, the idea was to spread what we do in more territories, and the two people that were on here today, they bought in. Now, they traveled from Naples to come here just to say hello and learn more. And now they're taking it back, so they want us to open up in Naples, because on top of everything else, in the Hispanic market that we're open here on Fridays is catching on. And the gentleman that was here, he has some newspaper people and some people in Miami with the other studio that want to incorporate exactly what she's talking about, profit and not-for-profit, both markets. But it's really interesting that if you put it out there, you see what comes.
It does.
But you have to be prepared, because it's a lot. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of ideas. There are ideas bouncing all over the place, just like that room. But it's interesting.
Incredible. Well, thank you again. Sally, I know you're thrilled to meet Trudy.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, these new senior communities, Sally, they're going to all want you to come in and speak to them.
I don't mind. That's what I wanted to do, yeah.
So
absolutely.
we're going to get you
Again, we've got to have enough hours in a day, though.
Maybe I'll bring you with me tomorrow morning.
Maybe.
You never know who you can learn and who you
no,
can't meet,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah, no, it's something.
That
as
means
you
you have
know,
to
we
drive
talked
early in the
about this.
morning. You have to drive early in the morning.
The sun's up. She's okay in
It's
the
okay
morning.
as long as the sun's up. I just can't drive in the dark.
And the vampires come out. All right, so what's happening for your show today, Sally, at 2:30?
Well, we were going to I don't know, it'll just see how it goes, right? We were going to talk about all those things up in the sky, which we still can. We don't have
Do
too
you
many-
know that all the drones, they don't talk about them anymore?
Well, that's another thing that we can talk about. Yes, that's very curious, isn't it?
My son told me when he was flying in from Texas on New Year's Eve, there was a drone right under their airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how we saw it under the airplane, but he's like, there's no way that's another airplane under my plane. It
There's
would be
been
way
many
too close.
sightings that are quiet, yeah.
It's kinda
It's
nuts.
still going on. They're just not talking about
How
it.
high was your son's plane?
It's a regular
must have
plane,
been-
however high a
There's
plane
no
is.
regular 32,000 feet. You
Okay.
don't find a drone at
Well,
32,000
then
feet.
wasn't it? I don't- Maybe
That's why we need to discuss it on the program to see what they have to
Here we
say.
go.
More to come. And Brianna, welcome back. We've missed you. I think our crew, they're going to start coming back. School starts tomorrow. So those that are in high school are going back to school.
Brianna's going to be coming to a theater near you.
I'm not saying it was the aliens, but it was the aliens.
But a
I'm
lot of
not
good stuff
saying it
happening. All right, shall we wrap this up?
We shall.
All right, more to come. Thank you all for tuning in. Check out Nonprofits First. You can get more information. And today at 2:30, Sally Barnard, host of Call Me Zena, touches with the life beyond the veil. So you never know who's going to come forward. So more to come. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.